Right now, almost half of Americans say they're living paycheck to paycheck. Nearly half. That's not just low-income earners. That includes people making six figures. In fact, recent Bank of America data shows that about 1 in 5 households earning over $150,000 a year are spending nearly everything they make on necessities alone. But here's the shocking part. When researchers actually analyzed spending patterns, they found that only about 26% of households are truly spending over 95% of their income on absolute necessities. So what's happening with everyone else? The gap between how broke we feel and how broke we actually are comes down to something most people never talk about: our money mindset. Welcome to Money Sprint. You've watched your grocery bill climb. You've seen rent or mortgage payments eat up half your income. You've felt the squeeze of insurance premiums, electricity bills, and gas prices that seem to rise every single month. In the US, consumer spending increased by nearly 6% in 2023. But here's the catch. Wages only barely outpaced inflation. In the UK, inflation hit double digits for the first time in 40 years. And across North America, total credit card debt has climbed to over $1.2 trillion. But here's what Bank of America economists discovered that changes everything. Nearly half of survey respondents said they felt like they were living paycheck to paycheck. But the actual data showed something different. Many people who felt broke had room in their budgets. They just didn't see it. This isn't about judging anyone's financial situation. If you're genuinely struggling to afford food and housing, that's real. That's not a mindset issue. That's a systemic economic challenge. But for many of us, there's something else at play. Our relationship with money isn't just about the numbers in our bank account. It's about the stories we tell ourselves, the habits we've normalized, the invisible beliefs that guide every financial decision we make. Here's the truth most financial experts won't tell you. Being broke isn't always about how much you earn, or it's about how you think about money. We all know someone who makes less than us but seems to have their finances together. And we probably know someone who makes more than us but is somehow always stressed about money. The difference? Their money mindset. For the next 18 minutes, we're going to break down 7 specific money mindsets that quietly sabotage your financial growth. These aren't surface-level budgeting tips. These are the deep psychological patterns that keep you stuck in the cycle of feeling broke, no matter how much you make. The good news? Once you see these patterns, you can change them. And when you change how you think about money, you change how you handle it. Let's dive in. Mindset. Number 1, the instant gratification trap. We live in the age of convenience, next-day shipping, one-click purchases, buy now, pay later, DoorDash, Uber Eats, subscriptions for literally everything. The entire economy is designed to eliminate friction between wanting something and getting it. And it's killing your ability to build wealth. Here's what's happening in your brain. When you see something you want, your brain releases dopamine, the anticipation chemical. According to neuroscience research, dopamine is released when you're anticipating the reward, not when you get it. That's why scrolling through Amazon feels so good, even before you buy anything. Our modern economy has turned this natural biological response into a financial trap. A recent Deloitte study found that 77% of consumers bought something to lift their mood in the past month. But here's the devastating part. Only 42% of those people felt they could actually afford what they bought. 3/4 of us are buying things for an emotional boost, but less than half of us can afford it. The average American now has a credit card balance of around $6,700, according to recent TransUnion data. Credit card debt in the US has climbed to $1.2 trillion, and the average interest rate over 23%, the highest it's ever been. If you're carrying that average balance and only making minimum payments, you're paying over $150 in interest charges every single month. That's money disappearing into thin air. How to break free? First, implement the 48-hour rule. When you want to buy something that's not essential, wait 48 hours. Set a reminder on your phone. This gives the dopamine spike time to fade and lets your rational brain catch up. Second, calculate the true cost in hours. Before buying something, divide the price by your hourly wage. That $60 dinner out, if you make $20 an hour after taxes, that's 3 hours of your life. Third, redirect the dopamine. Set up automatic transfers to savings on payday. Watch that balance grow. Let the anticipation of financial security replace the anticipation of buying stuff you don't need. The goal isn't to never enjoy anything. It's to make conscious decisions instead of emotional reactions. Mindset number 2, the victim of lifestyle creep. Here's a pattern you've probably seen. You got a raise at work. Finally, you felt relieved, maybe even excited. And within 3 months, you were just as broke as before. This is called lifestyle inflation, or lifestyle creep. And according to Bureau of Labor Statistics data, consumer spending increased for all income groups from 2022 to 2023. When people make more money, they spend more money, almost automatically. You finally have the income to afford that nicer apartment, so you move. You can now swing a car payment, so you upgrade. Your friends are eating at better restaurants, so you join them. None of these decisions feel extravagant in the moment. They feel like you're finally living the life you deserve. But here's what the data shows. The gap between your expenses and your income stays roughly the same. You're making more, but you're not getting ahead. A Bank of America Institute study found that even households earning over $150,000 a year have about 20% living paycheck to paycheck. Why? Because as their income rose, their fixed costs rose with it. Bureau of Labor Statistics reports show that from 2022 to 2023, average annual income rose by about 8%, but spending rose by about 6%. On paper, people were getting ahead, but in practice, most people barely felt the difference because their baseline expenses had already adjusted upward. How to break free? First, lock in your current lifestyle for the next raise. When you get a raise or promotion, commit before it happens that you won't increase your spending for at least 6 months. Pretend the raise never happened. Let it flow into savings or debt repayment. Second, implement the 50-30-20 rule with a twist. Every time your income increases, the new money goes into the savings category first. Don't recalculate your percentages based on new income. Third, identify your enough number for major categories. What's enough space in an apartment? What's enough car to get you from point A to B reliably? Write these numbers down. When your income grows, these numbers don't change. Only your savings rate does. Stop asking, what can I afford now? And start asking, what do I actually need? Mindset number 3, the debt normal mindset. When was the last time you heard someone say they'd never use credit cards or that they'd never finance a car? Probably never, because in our culture, debt is normal. Car loans are normal. Student loans are normal. Credit card balances are normal. Buy now, pay later plans are normal. We've completely normalized spending money we don't have. According to Federal Reserve data, total U.S. household debt reached $17.5 trillion. Credit card debt alone crossed $1.2 trillion in early 2025. The average American household carrying credit card debt has about $9,100 in balances. But here's the dangerous part of the debt normal mindset. It's not that people think debt is good, it's that they think debt is unavoidable. They've accepted it as a permanent feature of their financial lives. I can't afford to save because I have debt. I'll always have a car payment. Everyone has credit card debt. This is just how life works now. That resignation, that's the mindset that keeps you broke. The average credit card APR is now over 23%. If you're carrying that $9,100 average household balance and making minimum payments, you'll pay nearly $11,000 in interest alone over the years it takes to pay it off. You're working to pay interest to banks, not to own things you need, not to invest in your future, just to service debt. How to break free? First, name your debt. Write down every single debt you have. Credit cards, car loans, student loans, personal loans, everything. Write down the total balance and the interest rate. You can't change what you won't acknowledge. Second, commit to zero-based debt. Your default assumption is no new debt, ever. If you can't buy it with money you already have, you don't buy it, period. The exception? A house, because rent versus buy has different math. Everything else? Zero new debt. Third, use the debt avalanche method. List your debts from highest interest rate to lowest. Make minimum payments on everything except the highest rate debt. Throw every extra dollar at that one. When it's gone, move to the next. Change your language. Stop saying, I have debt, and start saying, I'm paying off debt. One is a state of being. The other is an action with an endpoint. Mindset number 4, the I deserve it mentality. You've had a hard week. Your boss was demanding. Your commute was terrible. You're stressed. You're tired. And then you think, I deserve a treat. This is one of the most destructive money mindsets, and it's everywhere. Here's the problem. Deserving something and being able to afford something are two completely different things. The I deserve it mentality is emotional spending disguised as self-care. And according to research from financial psychologists, this type of emotional spending is one of the primary drivers of consumer debt. That Deloitte study I mentioned earlier, the one showing 67% of people bought something to improve their mood, that's this mindset in action. We're using purchases as emotional regulation tools. We're treating shopping like therapy. When you're stressed or sad, your brain craves a dopamine hit. Shopping provides that hit. Researchers at Stanford found that when you see pictures of things you want to buy, the reward centers of your brain light up immediately. But here's the devastating part. The dopamine spike is temporary. The debt is permanent. A bank rate survey found that 46% of credit card holders carry a balance. Among those with debt, 45% said their debt came from emergency or unexpected expenses. But dig deeper, and you'll find that many of those emergencies were emotional purchases disguised as necessities. Real self-care is financial stability. Real self-care is not waking up at 3 a.m. stressed about money. Real self-care is building a life where you don't need to buy things to feel okay. How to break free? First, separate emotional needs from spending. Make a list of free or low-cost activities that genuinely improve your mood. Walking outside, calling a friend, working out, reading. All of these trigger dopamine release without costing money. Second, implement a deserving fund. Set aside a specific small amount every month, maybe $50 or $100, for guilt-free spending on things you want. When it's gone, it's gone. Third, track emotional spending separately for 1 month. Every time you buy something because you're stressed or feeling like you deserve it, mark it. At the end of the month, add it up. This awareness alone can cut emotional spending by 30% or more. You deserve financial peace. That's what you're working toward. Mindset number 5, the scarcity. Scar, this mindset is different. This one doesn't look like overspending. It looks like fear. Maybe you grew up without much money. Maybe you watched your parents stress about bills. Maybe you've experienced job loss or financial trauma. And now, even though you're technically okay, you can't shake the feeling that disaster is always around the corner. This is the scarcity scar. It's a deep psychological pattern where past financial stress creates present financial paralysis. People with this mindset often do save money, but they save in ways that actually hurt them long term. They keep $30,000 in a checking account earning 0 interest because they're terrified to invest it. They stay in jobs they hate because the paycheck feels safe. The scarcity scar makes you so afraid of losing money that you never grow money. According to Federal Reserve data, 54% of Americans have emergency savings that could cover 3 months of expenses. That's actually pretty good. But a separate bank rate survey found that 59% of Americans are uncomfortable with their level of emergency savings. There's a gap between objective financial security and subjective financial anxiety. That gap is the scarcity scar. How to break free? First, separate reasonable caution from fear-based paralysis. Having an emergency fund is smart. Keeping 5 years of expenses in cash while carrying high-interest debt is fear-based. Ask yourself, what would a financially secure person do with this money? Second, start with micro risks. If you're terrified to invest, start with $25. Open a retirement account. Let it sit there. Watch it. Learn that market fluctuations aren't catastrophic. The goal is building tolerance for financial growth, moves that feel risky but aren't. Third, reframe spending on yourself as investing in yourself. If spending $200 on a course could increase your income by $5,000 a year, that's not an expense. It's an investment with a 2,500% return. The scarcity scar is real, and it's rooted in genuine experience. But healing it means recognizing when protection has become prison. Mindset number 6, the procrastination loop. I'll start saving when I get a raise. I'll set up that retirement account next month. I'll create a budget this weekend. I'll look into investing when things calm down. Sound familiar? The procrastination loop is the mindset that says someday instead of today, and it's financially devastating. Here's why. Compound interest rewards time, not timing. Starting to invest at 25 versus 35 can mean hundreds of thousands of dollars in difference by retirement. Not because you invested more, just because you started earlier. According to a civic science study, 24% of Americans say they're not saving any of their income each month, the highest percentage since 2020. But when researchers dig into why, most people say they're planning to start saving soon. They're just waiting for the right moment. The right moment never comes. The procrastination loop is particularly insidious because it feels responsible. You're not being reckless with money, you're being careful, you're waiting until you can do it right. But here's the truth. Done imperfectly today beats perfect someday. How to break free. First, automate everything. This is the single most powerful move against procrastination. Set up automatic transfers to savings on payday. Set up automatic retirement contributions. Remove yourself from the decision-making process. What's automated gets done. Second, commit to good enough financial systems. You don't need the perfect budget app. You don't need to understand every investment strategy. You need something simple that you'll actually do. Good enough now beats perfect never. Third, use implementation intentions. Research in behavioral psychology shows that people who use if-then planning are dramatically more likely to follow through. Instead of, I should start saving, say if it's the first of the month, then I'll transfer $100 to savings. Stop waiting for a better time. The best time to start was 10 years ago. The second best time is today. Mindset number 7, the comparison game. Your coworker just bought a new car. Your friend is posting vacation photos from Greece. Your neighbor renovated their kitchen. Your college roommate just bought a house. And suddenly your life feels small. This is the comparison game, and social media has turned it into a financial pandemic. Here's what's happening. You're comparing your behind-the-scenes reality to everyone else's highlight reel. You're seeing the new car, not the 5-year loan. You're seeing the vacation, not the credit card debt. You're comparing your financial reality to other people's financial illusions, and it's making you broke. Research into consumer behavior shows that social comparison is one of the strongest drivers of lifestyle inflation. When your peer group upgrades, you feel pressure to upgrade. When your social media feed shows people living their best life, you feel like you're falling behind. This pressure translates directly into spending. You buy things you don't need with money you don't have to impress people you don't even like. According to that same Deloitte study, emotional spending is consistent across age groups. But younger generations report more comparison-driven spending, largely due to social media exposure. The comparison game is exhausting. It's a treadmill with no finish line, because there's always someone with more, always someone doing better, always someone with a nicer life, at least on the surface. How to break free. First, curate your inputs ruthlessly. Unfollow social media accounts that make you feel inadequate. Stop clicking on lifestyle content that triggers spending urges. Protect your mental space from comparison triggers. This isn't avoidance, it's self-preservation. Second, shift from comparison to personal metrics. Instead of measuring yourself against others, track your own progress. Are you saving more this month than last month? Is your net worth higher than last year? Compete with your past self, not with other people. Third, practice gratitude for what you have. Keep a weekly list of 3 financial things you're grateful for. Paid rent on time, bought groceries without stress, made a debt payment. Gratitude literally rewires your brain away from scarcity and comparison. Remember, someone else's financial choices have nothing to do with yours. Their debt is not your problem. Their lifestyle is not your benchmark. Your only competition is the person you were yesterday. Closing motivation plus call to action. Here's what I want you to understand. Financial freedom doesn't start with more money. It starts with a different mindset. You can make 6 figures and still be broke if your mindset is broken. You can make $40,000 and build wealth if your mindset is aligned with your goals. These 7 money mindsets, the instant gratification trap, lifestyle creep, debt normal thinking, the I deserve it mentality, the scarcity scar, the procrastination loop, and the comparison game, they're not personality flaws, they're learned patterns. And what's learned can be unlearned. Right now, take 60 seconds and identify which of these mindsets resonates most with you. Be honest. Is it the comparison game, the procrastination loop, lifestyle creep? Whatever it is, that's your starting point. You don't have to fix all 7 at once. You just have to start with one. Pick the mindset that's costing you the most money or causing you the most stress. Then implement just one strategy from that section. One boundary, one automation, one small change. That's how you build financial freedom. Not with a dramatic overhaul, not with a massive windfall, but with small, consistent mindset shifts that compound over time. Your money story isn't written by your circumstances. It's written by your choices. And every single day, you get to choose differently. If this video helped you identify which money mindset is holding you back, hit that like button. Subscribe to Money Sprint so you don't miss the next video. And drop a comment telling me which of these 7 mindsets hit home for you. Let's grow your financial mindset together. You've got this. Start today.